In this video, I want to take a look at viewing a single traverse. I'm going to create a situation where it's advantageous to me to do that and then show you how that works. So this is an example we've used for some of our XREF examples, and I'm going to come in and turn off that um, calibration so you can see that the XREF I brought in was actually not quite lined up with my survey here. And then I want to right click that XREF and from the XREF tools, say open that in the CAD view. So now you can see over here in the CAD view that this is the original XREF we started with. And I'll kind of zoom in about that same area just so you can see what we got here. So let's say that the contractor has called us and said, you know, I need some of these points here in this center of this street here because they're doing some excavation and I just need to know they're doing it in the right place. So we're just going to go out and pick up some of those points. So I'm going to stick this back as calibrated again, calibrate that and choose OK. Yeah, so now we're back in line. So let's go ahead and create a traverse here with some of these points in here. I'm going to do that with the add points to a traverse. I'm going to call these excavation 4/21/2022. I like to put these new traverses into groups. So I've got a group called as-built. I'm going to add it to that. My traverse view format is just going to be coordinates. And the way I'm going to draw that is with imported points. And I can go in and say, you know, those are the basic settings, but I'm also going to want to do elevations and descriptions, and I'll show you why in just a minute. And I'll probably want these things to be just a little bit larger. The third option here allows me just to create points wherever I click, and that's how I'm going to do these. Let's call these EX1. Let's put a description in here that says top of cut TLC. And we're going to tell Traverse BC we want to leave the traverse view open when we're done. So the first point we create is going to be EX1, then EX2, EX3. And I'm going to click on these with the mouse here, but you could just as easily have gone out with GNS, GPS, and picked up the top of these slopes, or robotic total station, or whatever you're using. I'm just going to create several points here. And let's say that that's really all I need. I'm following the prompts for this command, so when I'm done, I press enter. And I've got my points here, and I've got the points in a traverse. So let's come over here and let's crunch those down to a single row. And I'm going to simulate the elevations. Either I ran a level through those afterwards, or I picked up elevations as I went. 14, let's come back to 13 here. So I've got this traverse, and what I'd like to do, I'd like to send these points back over to the drawing they sent me. Okay, so I'm going to update that drawing with these locations. They're going to come over on their layers with their labels and symbols. And I'm going to send this file back, or maybe this file is on a cloud drive and we all have access to it. So here's the command I want to use. Draw just this traverse, or you can go to Tools. It says draw this traverse only. Let's go ahead and click that. And if I hit Zoom Extents, I see here's just those traverse points. Now, the reason this is helpful for me in this situation is that I don't want to send all the traverses and all the points over. I want to send just these that I've got selected here, but they're going to come over on some different layers, point symbols, point labels layers, and I don't want all of those for the whole survey. I just want it for this one traverse. That's why I've come in here and selected just this one traverse. Could have used an empty drawing, that would have been better. But watch what I'm going to do. I'm going to select, and I'm going to do a cross selection. So whatever I cross here gets selected. So those points are now selected. Now I'm going to right click any one of them, and this is the command I want, CAD view, and I can send the selected object, but if I miss one of those, I could go to the layers. So that would work. I mean, I'm just doing this drawing, those layers. So maybe I want to send the layers, and that way I'll get everything from this drawing that's on the point symbols layer, everything from this drawing on the point labels layer, and I'm just going to hit OK. Now, in some other videos, we've talked about calibrations, and you saw me recalibrate that XREF to my survey. Well, I don't want to send my survey coordinates back to their drawing because it's not the same coordinate reference system. I actually want to reverse that and go from my survey back to their drawing file calibration. And that's what this is asking, saying, do you want to do that calibration for the associated file? I'm going to say yes. So look what happens. Travis PC goes ahead and brings those points in exactly where they should be. So based on the coordinate reference system for the DWG file, not for, now as soon as I close that traverse, it says you want to keep that single drawing, single traverse drawing. I'm going to say no. I go back to my whole big drawing here. And I see that because I had actually had to calibrate this drawing to my survey, if I had sent these points back on reverse calibrated, they would be in the wrong position. But the way I did it, they're exactly where I want them. I simply go into File, choose Save CAD File. I've updated the file, and away I go. So that's where using that ability to draw a traverse, a single traverse in the drawing, is really helpful to get just the information I want back to the CAD drawing.